Welcome back into the Sports Source. One of these days we're going to mic up the off-camera stuff. Actually, probably better that we don't do that. This segment brought to you by A.G. Hines Company. One of the most popular things going right now is the colored concrete. I don't know if you've seen this. Concrete with the swirls in it and the different colors. Lots of folks are customizing driveways, patios, even flooring. I've seen basements done with this stuff. A.G. Hines Company carries exactly what you need to do that, and they tell you exactly how to use it. They are the tops in building materials in the state of Tennessee, much less in Knoxville and East Tennessee. A.G. Hines Company, get in touch with them. They know what they are doing. All right, another person who knows what he's doing, aside from appearing on the show, Josh Ward from WNML AM and FM. Josh, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks, Sean.
All right. Clemson, LSU, Texas all have between 2 and 3 dozen players, or actually more than 3 dozen at Clemson, players who've already gotten the bug. However, let me also say Kansas State, we mentioned this last week, they've postponed workouts because of COVID on their campus. Boise State shut down their facilities this week because of COVID on their campus. Doesn't look good. So Mark Emmert was asked by The Athletic, I mentioned it again, was the NCAA president, Mark Emmert, was asked this week about college football, and his quote was, "We are likely to have football this fall." Okay, good. Question then moves to, what about fans in the stands? It came out this week that the NFL has said to their teams, you're on your own. It's up to you. Every town is different, every state's different. There's not going to be an NFL edict on capacity will be X. There is no NFL standard. Josh, in the college ranks, you know, the universities have been saying an awful lot during this. Well, we're the SEC. We're following the SEC's lead. Do you think the SEC, unlike the NFL, will hand down a capacity guideline for the universities in the SEC? Or do you think it's going to be just like the NFL, not one size fits all?
I would think that the SEC and the Power 5 conferences would try to have some kind of guideline within the conference. Maybe it's maxed out at a certain number, but if one school is having no fans and another is saying, yeah, we're going to try to get as many as we can into the stadium, that's going to cause some real problems behind the scenes. Now, I guess one way you could sell it, if I'm going to be wrong here, and they say, we'll leave it up to whatever school, whatever state they decide, is maybe you can come up with some kind of revenue sharing, where you can say, okay, well, you're going to make some money, can split up some of this money because you need to maximize your profits however you can. You have non-conference. Tennessee going to Oklahoma. What if Oklahoma has a different idea than Tennessee? Yep. There also is still the health aspect. What if you have an issue with that part of it? Yeah, right. So one thing that could help get as many people into one stadium versus another, I would say, would be money.
Yeah, Chuck, do you agree that you think the SEC will hand out a plan? I'm probably opposite Josh. I think it's more likely going to be.
I think you about have to. I think you got to have some kind of idea as a conference, even if it's on a week-to-week type basis based on how things are in that area. But yeah, I think you have to have something. Do you ease into it? Do you say, look, for the first game, the first time we try this, let's go for this number, 20%, 30%, whatever it is. But I do think you want some guidance and some guidelines there.
Want it. I agree with you. I would want it. I just look at the NFL and I think, well, there's an organization that's not going to do it. Now, they are spread out over different regions, obviously. But still, there's a difference right now in the states, in the SEC.
Huge, yeah.
So, I don't know that the University of Florida's capacity in their state, although the way they're going is wide open, baby, come on in. But will they have the same capacity as a Tennessee or a Kentucky? Or well, nobody will have the same capacity as Vanderbilt. But I just don't know that they are going to hand down a one-size-fits-all, because I think you get into state regulations and county regulations and city regulations.
I don't think it's one-size-fits-all as much as it just depends on from that one location to another and how things are with your health department or like your cities.
Right.
And how everything else is going. I mean, even the games are going to be, I think, like a week to week. So I think it does matter. The NFL, is that a liability thing too? To say, hey, you decide what's best for your team where you are.
I think it becomes difficult, Josh, is if the SEC says, okay, it's 50% capacity for everybody. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then somebody else is just by that point in time, they got nothing. We're COVID free. Why are we being held to 50%? I think that's going to be difficult. I'm like you. I think it would be wise. I think it makes sense. I just don't see how they do it.
It would be difficult. I'm skeptical that we'll be in a position where everybody's COVID-free.
I agree.
So I doubt that we get to that point. I think what you want first is that everybody's going to let some amount in. If you have one that says we're going no fans at all, that's where you have a problem, where you have one school, stadium, whatever, that's going to be capacity free, and then they're going up against somebody that's welcoming in 40,000, 50,000, 60,000. If you can cap a number to where it's universally good for the guidelines and competition, I think that's what you're trying to do if you're Greg Sankey in the SEC.
And logistically, who gets those tickets? How are you going to handle that? If you say, okay, we can let 30,000 in or 40,000, who decides? Is it a lottery? I mean, how do you do that?
Whoever
But what
spent
would
the
allow
most.
difference is if you can almost go to like a non-conference home-and-home agreement with revenue, you're trying to figure out as much as you can to make money, save money within the conference, for
I
sure.
think the idea of revenue sharing is a great one.
But-
I could see where the little guys would love it.
Yes.
And I could see where the big guys are like, wait a second, we have lost so much money already, and we're packing it. We're healthier than you are.
Yeah.
We've got our fans coming in here. Why should I give some money to Vanderbilt?
Yeah, we have a budget conversation coming up later, right? So
Yes.
the idea of giving up more, you wouldn't like. If you can get more, again, the tug of war.
There was another aspect to this question, but I'm going to hold it for a later day, so we'll have that. All right, when we come back, though, Philip Fulmer had a message for Vol fans wanting to know what attendance will be this fall. But will you listen to his message? Come on back on the Sports Source.